Okay, so this video is in relating to whatevs about SB 48, the Fair Education Act in California. I saw this video of this pastor who was against it and wanted to stop it, and the points he makes him look like just an idiot. Like, there's no other way to describe it. He just looks like an idiot. So, excuse me while I look down, because all my facts I wrote down, like what he says in the video, like paraphrasing it. So, my first point is he says that the government is overreaching their powers by passing this. Overreaching what powers? They're teaching kids in school. They have laws about the same thing with other groups. Why is that overreaching their power? It's doing the same thing they did for African Americans, Asians, Germans, everything. It doesn't matter. They've done this for so many people. I even have this thing pulled up, or maybe I exited out of it. Never mind. But it had a whole list of what groups they had that were mandatory that be taught about in school. Like, you can't leave it out on purpose because of discrimination. Like, you have to talk about Pacific Asian Americans and whatnot. Okay, and the second one is he says that they're going to teach the lifestyle and practices of LGBT people. They're not teaching the lifestyle and practices of them at all. They're teaching about famous LGBT people in history who had an impact on America. It's no different than Martin Luther King Jr., except it's a different minority group. So, no, they're not teaching lifestyles and practices of LGBT people. That is a scare tactic. Do not listen to that. He is just trying to get people on his side. The third point, the teaching of it goes against the ministry of Jesus Christ. Okay, first of all, number one, there is supposed to be a separation of church and state. You're retarded for thinking otherwise. So, it doesn't matter if it goes against the teaching of Jesus Christ, because I'm sure a lot of the things that the Christian church does goes against the teaching of every other religion. I'm sure a lot of things that the government does goes against the teaching of a lot of other religions, but you have to get over that fact, because you have nothing to do with the government. The government is separate from your religion. Get over it. There is nothing you can do. And technically, anyone using church in state could be impeached or removed from the government, technically. But it wouldn't happen because there'd be a huge uproar, everyone would be upset, whatever. I don't care. But that's my point. The fourth one is the pastors are called to be lovers of God's people. Obviously, you aren't loving God's people because you're leaving out an entire piece of American history just because it's a minority group that you don't like. Christians used to have a whole religious thing against blacks, too. I don't see you discriminating against them anymore. It's just stupid. The next point I have is that he said he could prove historically that pastors were called upon to shape the culture of righteousness. Okay, first of all, Christianity is a huge part of our culture, yes, but not everyone is Christian. Therefore, Christians have no right to run the government based on their religion, because there are other people here. That's exactly what the Constitution says. It's exactly why it's made. It's oppression, and it's just, oh my god, I can't believe you're trying to shape the culture of other people. Like, I don't want to do what you do. I respect the fact that you're religious. I do. But I will have no part of that. And I can't believe that you're trying to make my culture centered around that. So, whatever. I'm done with that point. What he said next was Oh, I'm gonna skip that one, that's bad, sorry. Oh, he also said that, they have to defend their children by not allowing this law to be passed. You're not defending your children by doing that. You're defending them against nothing. They're being taught history, harmless history. They can still be against LGBT people and learn about LGBT history. They're more educated that way, and that way they can make their own decisions, and they don't make their decisions based on what you believe. I believe every person has the right to be educated on their own and make their own decision. Some people may be educated about LGBT history and still be the biggest bigot on the face of the planet. It's up to them. So let them be taught it. He also says, this is just kind of funny. He says, I could go on and on about this, but during the video, you can clearly hear him stuttering and taking breaks and not knowing what he's saying. And there's points in the video where it's edited, cut out, skipping. It's just, you can tell he does not know what he's saying. He was probably reading off a cue card or something. If you want to know what I'm talking about, just go find this video. It's this pastor on the Fair Education Act. It's like Stop SB 48 or something. I don't know what the exact title of it is, but just watch it. You'll understand what I'm talking about. He also says this is not a political issue, it's a righteousness issue. So if it's not a political issue, why are you trying to change it? It is a political issue. They need to teach this in schools, because that would be discrimination if they didn't. It's painfully clear that it's discrimination, okay? I mean, there is no reason it should not be taught. It's just another piece of history. Righteousness, whatever. You can still teach your kid that being that way is not okay. And they can still learn about it in school. The same thing happens with racist people at the South. They still learn about African American history. They have to. But they can still hate black people. Like, I'm not saying that's okay. I'm just saying it happens. People decide what they want to decide. Just let them decide it. He also says that the rogue government took away righteousness. That is so stupid and such an extremist thing to say. It is just totally uncalled for. The government is not rogue by doing this. They are doing their routine job. They have done it for other people in the past. They're doing it for new people now. And it should not be any different. They are not taking away your rights to being Christian. They are not taking away your rights to teaching your views about LGBT people. They are not doing anything at all to take that away from you. So why would you even call them rogue? They haven't done anything wrong. You're the one who's being an idiot and trying to scare people into believing what you believe so that the government will continue to discriminate, and that is unfair. And the final thing that he said is, there is no getting out of it for your child. I think that's wrong. Okay. So you think it's wrong that the child can't get out of history class? That's stupid. You have to do it to graduate. If you don't want your child in this history class, don't let them graduate. Let them be screwed over in the world. That is all I'm saying. Or you can just send them to a friggin' private institution. Have them be taught what you want them to be taught. Don't send them to public schools, because public schools have nothing to do with religion. Nothing. They should not teach anything about it. Well, I think that's enough complaining. I guess I'll see you in my next video.